The longest-lasting relationship I'd ever had was with my Netflix subscription's true crime shows. And I was the kind of person who fell asleep listening to My Favorite Murder. But the first time I had a gun shoved in my face, I still felt this huge urge to pee myself. Don't wet your pants. If he shoots you, you're gonna smell like pee when they find the body. If you have to be a corpse, be a sexy one. No one thinks urine is sexy. Except maybe a certain rapper. Well, it was good to know my brain had its priorities in order. Okay, why don't we focus on not getting murdered instead? I asked myself as I put my hands up. All those diamonds in the bag now, the man in front of me ordered, shoving a plain black duffel at my chest. I grabbed it and immediately began doing as he ordered, scooping up diamond rings by the handful and shoving them in, trying to avoid glancing up at the menacing muzzle pointed at my chest. All right, I said in what I hoped was a calm voice. Whatever you want. The man in front of me had pulled a pretty transparent stocking up over his face that didn't hide all that much. And while I worked, he looked up at the security camera, pointed the gun at it, and shot it out. An involuntary squeak escaped my mouth at the sound. Faster, he ordered. Trust me, we both want this to go as fast as possible, I replied. The words coming out of my mouth before my brain had a chance to decide it was a bad idea. Great. Shut up, the man spat. Shut up and give me what I want. I rushed over to the next cabinet and began trying to unlock it. But given the pressure of the situation, my hands shook as I went to slip the key into the lock. Come on, the man shouted, shooting the gun above me. The bullet smashing the mirror behind into 1,000 pieces. Small bits of glass cascaded over me. Do you seriously think that's helping? I shouted back. Mom had always told me that one day my big mouth was going to get me shot. I didn't think either one of us would have imagined it was while I was being robbed at work, though. The key finally slipped into the hole, and I twisted it in the lock, pulling open another drawer, this one full of diamond-encrusted bracelets and earrings. I tossed them all into the bag and handed it back to him. The safe in the back, the man said. I need you to unlock it. I can't, I replied, the blood draining from my face. I don't have the code. I'm just an employee here. Bull, the man said. Come on, take me to the safe. Blood pounded in my ears as panic threatened to overtake me. He was going to kill me as soon as I didn't open the safe for him. I knew that, because even through the mask, I recognized the robber. It was Stevie Ham, the youngest of the Ham brothers, who ran drugs into Canada, and one of Seattle's biggest screw-ups. Frankly, it was nothing short of a miracle that the guy hadn't gotten himself killed yet. Honestly, how could one of the most recognizable crime figures in Seattle decide to rob a jewelry store without at least throwing on a mask? That was some real criminal 101 stuff right there. And guys like Stevie Ham didn't leave witnesses. I'd seen way too many articles in the paper about victims of the Ham brothers and their drug wars. They weren't the kind to just let people go. If I didn't do something in the next minute or so, I'd be a corpse on the ground. Hopefully, I'd at least get a mention on my favorite podcast. Was that too much to ask? There was only one problem. I wasn't quite ready to die just yet. So what was I going to do? I figured literally anything was better than sitting around doing nothing and waiting for the end. So I racked my brain for ideas in an attempt to stop a bullet from passing through it any time soon. Come on, take me to the safe fast, Stevie shouted, motioning toward the back door with his gun. I nodded, pulling out the key fob that gave me access to the back room of the jewelry shop. I quickly swiped it against the scanner and opened the door. Stevie pressed the gun against my back, which tensed immediately, and shoved me forward. This was my chance. As soon as I'd passed through the doorway, I grabbed the heavy metal door and shoved it closed as hard as I could. Stevie's arm was still in the doorway, but the rest of him hadn't passed the threshold yet. A sickening crunch reached my ears, and he cried out in pain as his arm got stuck between the door and the jamb.